Are you tired of cluttered makeup and half-empty palettes? Well, today I'm going to show you how I depot my makeup to make one cohesive palette that's just amazing and you can travel with. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Okay guys, so I'm going to attempt today to depot my makeup. What inspired me to do this depotting video today is I was sifting through old makeup, new makeup, and finding a lot of palettes like this, where I have colors that I've hit pan on, but then other colors that I have not really used a lot of, but are still beautiful that I want to keep. So instead of getting rid of this palette in its entirety, I want to be able to take those colors out and put them in one place. Here's another example of my Patrick Ta palette. These two are like waxes for your brows, but all of these other colors are very beautiful. I just don't use them as often. You can tell my go-tos that I've hit pan on. So I want to be able to take these out of here instead of keeping this entire palette as beautiful as it is. I'm trying to declutter and make some space because I have limited space for my makeup in my vanity. So, and plus I just want it all condensed so I can go to one place and see a lot of my colors. So I was inspired by actually Nikki LaRose, and if you watch one of my previous videos, I've been inspired by her makeup brushes. I bought them from BK Beauty. I'm loving them, by the way. Highly recommend. But she also is a professional makeup artist, and she had her professional kit depotted so it wasn't so heavy. So then I got to thinking, well, maybe I can do that with my own personal stuff so I can condense all these palettes that I have lying around. And I'm talking like so many palettes. All the Nakeds, Makeup by Mario, another Bare Minerals, Anastasia, Natasha Denona. I have a whole bin full of these palettes. So what I'm gonna try and do is condense them all into a more manageable palette. So here's what I'm gonna use to try and attempt this depotting. I found this Z Potter on Amazon, and it's basically an induction plate. So you can use it as a hot plate, but I'm gonna use it obviously to depot my makeup. So this is super cool and it's very easy. You just plug it in, turn the power on. I believe there's 3 modes to it. If you read the instructions, it says keep it on mode 2, I believe, for makeup. But it also comes with an extra plate and a magnet. So you take this magnet out of this little, let's take it out of the bag here. It's just a little magnet. And what you do is set it on the side of your palette, like this. And if it sticks, then it will work on the induction plate. If it does not magnetize to your trays, then you use this, I don't know what this is, I guess it's just a metal plate, and you put it on top of the Z Potter, and then that will make the induction work on your palettes that aren't already magnetized, that won't work with the induction plate. So it covers all your bases. If your magnet works and sticks to your palette like this, then you can put it straight on the induction plate. If not, you use this plate and put that on the induction plate as a conductor, and then you put your palettes on there and go as normal. So I am going to, so I wanted to show you some other things that I bought from Amazon. So I got the Z Potter on Amazon. Some other things I got that we're gonna need are another palette to put it in. So I believe this was like $10 on Amazon. It's very reasonable. I'll leave everything linked down below as usual. But this is just a very simple, it almost reminds me of the MAC palettes, that have the little circles. Is a similar concept, except these are, you can make whatever, you can put all different sizes and shapes on here. It also comes with these little magnetized stickies So you can put this on the back of any of your shadows to make them stick or make them magnetized on here too. So I bought this for at home, but then I was inspired and I thought, why not make a travel palette? So I bought this really cute one. I thought this was just adorable. Look at her face. I mean, is that not beautiful? But this one also has a mirror in it. And then it has the magnetized here, so you can make your own travel palette. So you can put your a blush, a bronzer, whatever eyeshadow palettes you want. If you're gonna use a cream blush, you can put that on here too. A cream for your eyebrows, just whatever you wanna put in here, you can make your own palettes, put highlighters, whatever. So I thought this would be really cool to make a travel palette also, and I also thought this was beautiful. And then I also bought, just for fun, I don't know if I'm gonna need this one or not, but this was just kind of a funky iridescent one. It also has a mirror, and then it comes with the little thing, the little magnetized that you can stick on the back of your eyeshadow pots too, if they don't stick well on here. So super fun, got all that on Amazon. I also bought this spatula from Amazon. So once you put your palette on the induction plate and the glue starts to loosen, then you take this and loosen up the sides around each particular color, and then you can use this flat side to pop the pan out of the palette and go from there. What you'll also need is some Q-tips, some rubbing alcohol, and maybe some paper towels to clean up the glue, and the pots too within the palettes, because they are metal, they will get hot. So just be careful with your fingers. I am going to attempt to do this and video it, and obviously I'm not going to take you through this. This is going to take me hours probably to depot all these. So I will show you in fast time a little bit of them. I have all of these palettes that I would like to go through and see if I can't depot. Now obviously I'm going to need another tray, and I'm not going to depot all of them. Some of the smaller ones I'll probably keep, or less used ones. But I also need to, while I'm going through, here's another important tip, is to check your expiration dates and make sure that, because these have been in here a while, some of them, and I'm sure some of them have expired. There's this little date back here. So it says basically this one, oh gosh, I need my glasses. Hold on, hold please. 24 months. So from the time of opening this and starting to use it, it's 24 months is supposed to be the expiration date. Now you can see with this palette, I've hardly used any of these colors, but they are beautiful and I don't want to get rid of them. So I haven't had this quite 2 years yet, so I am going to hang on to this, but let's get started. So here I'm just setting it up on my kitchen counter because you want to have it on a heat safe surface and a flat surface. So your palettes will sit on top of the induction plate flat. And those are the plus and minus buttons where you adjust the heat. I was setting it to the temperature level, the mode setting 2 is what it was suggested. There's my magnet test on the Tarte Bloom in Bloom palette. So you set it in the center of the induction plate and give it 3-4 minutes to heat up. These popped out super easy, but they are a little toasty. So put them down quickly, and some of the other ones later got really hot, and I just set them off to the side on the plate while they cooled off before I tried to put them back in the pan. Now, unfortunately, it went off camera a little bit as I was popping this out, but I just took the spatula in the corner and popped it out, and notice there's not a lot of glue on these. So a quick check-in after the first palette. I did do the Tartelette in Bloom palette first, and you can see that they're all gone except for this one, and I did crack it a little bit trying to get it out, but it was at pan, so I wasn't too concerned over it. They came out very easily. Now I can tell you that the Tartelette in Bloom palette did not have a lot of glue on the back side of the individual trays, but they do fit nicely. I just kind of threw them in here, wiped off the bottom and put them in here. Once I get another palette or two depanned and put in here, then I'll start organizing them by colors, by glitter or not glitter, that kind of thing. But at this point, I was just putting them and wanted to make sure that they had a place to be, and so they are safe. So I will move on to the next one. Now the Z Potter does have a fan underneath it, so it does get somewhat loud. So I won't film any of that for you, but I will check in with you on after the next couple palettes and let you know how it's going. Okay, I went to do the Makeup by Mario palette. I am obsessed with this palette, but this is the one I was trying to do next. And this is the Master Mattes, the Neutrals palette. And I noticed that it does not, the magnet does not stick to this one. Oh, there it goes. Oh, nope, that was just the clip. See, if you notice, it does not stick. So I'm gonna have to use the induction plate for this one. So I will let you know how that goes. Okay, checking in midway. A few tips. Patience is key. So once you put your palette on the induction plate, it's gonna take a few minutes for it to heat up and loosen up the glue. So give it a good 3-4 minutes just to sit and heat. They do get hot. So if you have gloves or like those little fingertip things, I recommend using them. The tips of my fingers are toasty. We'll just put it that way. Also, do not start with your favorite palette. Learn that the hard way. The first couple of palettes that you do, make sure that it's not your favorite shadows, it's not your most expensive palette. You know, do a couple practice runs on some that you could take or leave, just to make sure that you're not ruining something that you really want to keep and to have. When you're attempting to get the pans out, you want to go in the corner here. And what I've been doing, once the pan heats up, I've been pushing on this corner and this corner is lifting up. And I also did get a razor blade, you know, from a box cutter, because it's thinner than the spatula that I had, and the spatula was slipping off the pan and into my shadow and cracking the shadows. So it was kind of a moot point to try and get them out if I was gonna ruin them anyway, right? So be very careful. If I find or figure out another method, I will obviously be sure to let you know, but so far it has been going well. Patience is key. Use an X-Acto blade and make sure your palette gets hot enough before you start trying to pop them out. Have I said you need patience yet? You're gonna need patience. And also, your hands are gonna get messy. It's gonna get messy. So you need patience. Did I say that yet? For those in the back that didn't hear me, patience. And don't forget your glasses. I'm about midway through and I wanted to share a couple of observations. If I haven't said this already, be patient. It's gonna take some patience, just digging them out, heating them up, organizing your tray, all that stuff. So know that it's gonna be time consuming. That's first of all. Second of all, don't get a manicure right before you try this. Between the alcohol and the digging out of the shadows and cleaning up and things like that, not a good idea to get a manicure right before you want to try this little endeavor. Don't forget your glasses. If I didn't say that already, that's important. Don't do your favorite palettes first. That's important. And also, you don't have to keep every shade. I've noticed that as I'm going through, some of them I just know that I will never wear, like glitters. I'm not a big glitter person. Shimmer, yes. Glitter, no. So I'm not really keeping a lot of glitter shadows. They tend to crumble easier too. So when you're taking them out of their palette, they are more susceptible to breaking and cracking. But that being said, you don't have to keep them all either, and you can just pick and choose the ones you want to keep. I like shimmers over glitter, and I have got rid of, let's see, so far I have emptied all of these and it has gone really well. The Mario palette did not want to play this game, and I like these colors and I like this palette too much to risk cracking any of the colors. So we tried. They did not want to come out of their cozy little palette here, so they are going to stay. But I have gotten all of these done so far. I have one over there on the heater, and I will check in with you in a little bit. This is my palette so far. I am so happy with the way this is turning out. If you're anything like me, the spaces and the fact that they're not all lined up makes me a little bit crazy, but I'm trying not to be so precious about it. I was not really precious about cleaning every speck of glue off the back of each one either. I was just kind of gave it a wipe down and put it in my palette. And then I tried to kind of organize them by shade. It kind of worked out, it kind of didn't. I will mess around with this and probably move some shadows around and stuff. It just takes a little bit of time. But this is what I have so far. This is all of these palettes. There's a couple of glitters, like I said, that I didn't include in here, and a couple of pans or colors that I had hit pan on, so obviously I didn't try and dig them out and put them in here if they were almost gone anyway. That's kind of the point. Mario did not want to play this little game, so he is going to stay in his cozy little bed. And yeah, I still have this beautiful palette to put together, as I want to put some highlighters. I do have this Cali contour box that I think I want to, all of these amazing colors. So I'm going to put a few of those in here, and then I'm going to kind of keep this empty, so when I do travel I can pull out of any palette and pop them in here. Kind of depends on what kind of mood I'm in, where I'm going, what season it's in. So I'm very excited about this little project. Let me know if it's something that you want to try or you plan on trying to depot some of your palettes. I do know you can depot like tube lipsticks and contour wands and things like that. That's not something that I was really interested in doing, but there are many resources out there of how you can do that. Those spatulas, that spatula that I showed you, hold on. This spatula that I showed you would be ideal for scooping out lipsticks or contour sticks, and they have different containers to put that kind of stuff in. That's not a road that I went down, but there are plenty of resources, and if I can find a couple of videos, I will leave them linked down below. The depotter, all of these palettes, my tools that I used, I will leave everything that I used linked down below. Remember, you're going to need alcohol, Q-tips, paper towels to get the glue off and stuff. It does make kind of a mess, especially if you're like me and we're a little overzealous at first and did not let them heat long enough and tried to go in and cracked a couple. That's unfortunate, but I am so happy with the way it turned out. I'm so happy with everything that I am so excited to have one big palette now. Fits in my little bin here. So all in all, a win-win, the depotter for the win. If you enjoyed this content and found it helpful, please like this video. Leave me a comment down below if you've tried depotting your makeup and how your experience went. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps out my channel a lot, and I'll see you next time.